Here we are, everybody. You knew it was coming. I have told you how to fight all factions from our armory. Now, I'm gonna rank everything else we have. Everything else we have in our arsenal, starting off with the bugs. Okay? So this is our stratagems, pretty much. Okay, if you can't tell from the bottom of the screen. Starting off strong, we have the orbital gatling. I think this is amazing. I love the orbital gatling. If I don't take the strafing run, I usually will take this. I think this is a very, very easy S tier. It can kill anything on the bug front. If you need a Bile Titan dead, there's a great way you can cheese it. When they do their spew animation, if you can bait him towards you and have the Gatling going, and he stands under it for a while, he'll start taking bleeding damage because all his little green sacks will pop. Or if he's already taken damage, this will finish him off. It can kill chargers. It can destroy a bug breach. I think it's great. If you haven't used your Orbital Gatling, take it out against the bugs. It does phenomenal. The Orbital Airburst. I think a lot of people hate this thing because I don't really see it that often. I don't think it's bad. It's a medium armor pen airburst, okay? It's not bad. If you throw this on a bug breach, not much of that bug breach is going to be coming towards you. It's a great area denial weapon, but for some reason, maybe it's just me, I think the aiming on it's inconsistent because I've thrown it directly front and it's supposed to be like, a perpendicular line, and it's like come with this weird askew angle and it's killed me. That's going to lose some points. I think this is a very C tier. I think other stratagems do what it does much better, but it has a quick recharge time. If you're an orbital maniac like I am sometimes, bring them both, create this kill zone. The orbital walking. Against the bugs, I don't see value. I think this is an F tier. I mean, first off, I don't know who's setting up some kind of tactical assault on a bug nest with the walking barrage. That's crazy. So the only idea I could ever even think of is gone. If you see someone in your squad bringing this, expect a TK because they probably don't know what they brought with them. Now the orbital 120. I think this is an S tier. If you have your ship module upgraded, it's a tight spread. It's highly effective. This is a great nest clearing stratagem, but it does have a long call-in, so I don't think I can put it above the Gatling. The 380. Now, this gets a bad rap. I know people hate the 380. I don't think it's that bad. If you communicate and you say what you're doing and you throw this in the mega nest, you're going to really soften the nest up and you're going to close a lot of the holes. Same with any nest you throw this into. But I think I have to take points off because the spread isn't as tight. Maybe you think that's better. And the accuracy leaves it wanting. I think this is a very solid B tier. Maybe as we rank everything, I might move it up to A, but as it stands now, this is a B tier. The Orbital Napalm. Some people love this. This is like a delete this area button for the bugs. I don't think that it is as good as people think. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. It is an amazing call-in. Like, I am satisfied every time I see one called in. However, where I think it struggles is the fact that a Gatling can do the same thing, like radius-wise, paired with some other team stratagems. I don't know. Maybe my problem is most people I know that bring it don't know how to use it. A lot of people like to throw it into the Mega Nest that I played with. And, like, that's all well and good. You just wiped out every bug in there, for the most part. However, you didn't close the holes. So the team can't go in there and start closing the nests off yet. And while we can't go in there, the bugs are already spawning back to the levels that they were just at. Maybe not the same amount of specials, but now it's going to be hell in there. And it's like you accomplish nothing. I think if you're a kill maxer, this is a great call-in. I think if you're more of a team player, I think there's better options for fighting nests and bugs in general. I think this is a B tier. I'm trying to find a happy ground for it. Orbital Smoke, F tier. You know what? I want to put the walking in E. I might, I might just call this Smoke. I think that's better. I mean, the Orbital Smoke is useless. It can't it can't pop a hole. It has a quick recharge. That's the best I can. That's the only nice thing I can say about it. I think I used it when the game first came out on like back on the creek. I think I was getting shot up by cannon turrets and I dropped this and like I mean that was it. I have no other use for this garbage. Orbital EMS. It's lucky I just changed the F to Smoke because this thing sucks. If you want to stun lock a bug that bad, bring the stuns. I think Orbital EMS is garbage. I would not recommend it to anybody. Now we're talking. Now we're back on the good stuff. Orbital Gas is S tier, okay? Against the bugs, you drop this on a bug breach, it's over. You will not be dealing with that breach for quite a few seconds. Unless it's, anything above a charge you will be dealing with, but other than that, it's over. You have just completely stopped the bugs in their track. And it has a quick call in. You can drop it on a bug hole if you're really busy and it'll pop it because it has destruction power. Love the gas. Orbital Laser. Our first A tier. It would be S if it was not limited to the amount of call-ins it had. I think a lot of newer players tend to like panic throw this and it gets wasted on like a charger because chargers seem to be oddly resistant to the laser. But if you're fighting a regular bug breach, or just even the mega nest, if you throw this in there, it will path its way through the bugs onto the nests. So if you're trying to be a kill maxer and a team player, try the laser in the mega nest. Orbital Precision S tier. I think it's great. It holds up against everything even to this day. It's an amazing stratagem. It is the master of everything. Bile Titans, one taps. Chargers, one tap. As long as you hit them, obviously. Impalers, one taps. Bug hole you don't like, blow it up. Bug breach, throw it in the middle. Most of it's dead. The Orbital Rail Cannon. I think this is like a noob trap stratagem. I don't really see a case for it once you pass a certain level and you have the right equipment. Honestly, I think it sucks. I could not name you a situation where I've like actually needed someone to call in the Orbital Rail Cannon. Because the Quasar is a thing now. The recoilless rifle is a thing. There are so many weapons that can do what this thing can, but just do it better. I think this is an E. I think it's a noob trap. I don't think it has much value, but I will put it at the top of E. I'm not even going to talk about that. Strafing Run. This is S. And I'm debating on where I really want to put it because I adore the Strafing Run. I think it's arguably this might be the best call-in in the game. Hear me out. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That's crazy, right? But it has this huge line of destruction it leaves. You can aim it better than any stratagem in the game. It has heavy armor pen rounds, just like the Gatling. It can close bug holes if you aim it correctly. It can destroy Bile Titans as long as they're taking some damage. It can destroy Impalers. It can destroy Chargers. You can tear a bug breach apart with it. You can cut a line right through it. It's incredible. If you have not tried the Eagle Strafing Run, I implore you to give it a try. You will not be disappointed. The Eagle Cluster. Some people don't know how to use this, and this is basically the Eagle team kill stratagem. I think it's overshadowed now. I think it was great when the game first started, and we didn't really have any like big area denial weaponry. I think we'll give this B tier. No, we're gonna put it in C tier. It doesn't have heavy armor pen, and a lot of the times you can kill your friends with this because people, well, not even your friends, even randoms, people don't look around. And this is a big stratagem that relies on you looking around to see where it's been aimed. The Eagle Airstrike, this is a very, very easy S tier. It's amazing. There are ways to make this better than the 500 if you're purely in the big enemy killing department. So here's a great way to use the Airstrike. Instead of taking like the Orbital Precision or the 500 if you're fighting Bile Titans. Now this stratagem will come in perpendicular to where you're standing. So if I'm standing at the enemy, it's going to come across the screen left to right or right to left. Now if I turn around like 45 degrees and kind of align myself with the enemy coming, right? And I drop the airstrike on myself, it'll come in a straight line following the enemy or going towards him. And if it comes behind the Bile Titan or forward into the Bile Titan, it'll be hit with like 3 bombs and that's an insta-kill. I think I might have explained that poorly, but just put the perpendicular aim on the Bile Titan is what I'm saying. Or any big bug for that matter. On the Fire Maxer, I think the orbital... sorry, not the orbital napalm. The napalm airstrike is amazing. Honestly, I think the Eagle napalm is better than the orbital napalm. You can aim it. You get more uses. And technically the cooldown, if you use all of them, is only about 2 minutes. You know, assuming there's no orbital fluctuation or anything, mission modifier. Rocket pods. Again, very lucky I changed this to smoke because these suck. These are garbage. These are paint scratchers on the bot front. And on the bug front, it's even worse. Okay? I mean, you can blow a charger up, except that you didn't kill the charger. You probably just made him mad and maybe ripped some skin off. So he's going to start taking bleeding damage, but he's going to keep charging at you. So you didn't really accomplish much. Do not bring them. The only time I've used the Eagle rocket pods is, you know, sometimes I do like the free stratagem deployment. That's the only time I use them. The 500 kilogram. If we were ranking this purely off aesthetics, this would be S tier. Sometimes this bomb has saved me. Sometimes it's killed me. Sometimes it's scratched the Bile Titan. I cannot justify putting this in S. I will put it in A. I'm putting it above the laser only because it's not limited uses. Okay. The car. The FRV. The flying Helldiver vehicle sometimes. This is our aircraft if you hit a big hill. I'm trying to rank this off combat and utility. If this wasn't just utility, this would be an S tier. Being able to traverse the map quicker is incredible. However, I'm trying to give this a fair break. Utility, it scores high. Combat viability, it scores pretty low. Besides the heavy machine gun on. If you have a good gunner, it's not bad. We're going to put this in C tier for now. That's subject to change. Our 2 walkers. These are really cool when they came out. Limited uses really hurt these. They're very powerful, assuming you don't get hit by chargers. I think my biggest complaint with the walkers is they have a very hard time scaling with levels. On a super hell dive, I'm ranking these all off a super hell dive. That's why I was mentioning the Mega Nest. I probably should have specified that in the beginning. These will struggle because they have a hard time fighting impalers. Because sometimes impalers will be behind cliffs and the walker can't get there in time and it'll be hit and it'll start taking damage. I think these are honestly D tier. I think they're interchangeable. I think the Gatling and missile combo is a little better than the auto cannons, only because the Gatling can destroy chaff, and you can use the rockets, and you can kind of, you know, I guess min-max. I'm sure that's really up to the person. I personally wouldn't recommend them, and they're limited to uses. I don't think that makes them good. They should have taken the FRV and just done it like that with infinite call-ins, because they don't scale well. The guard dog rover. Now, if we were not doing this based on level 10, this is not horrible. It's good at killing chaff, but once you play past difficulty 6, you start running into a lot more medium armor enemies. And then on 10, you're just pretty much fighting alpha commanders every other, couple seconds. And this has a hard time fighting anything above those little hive guards. So I'm going to give this a D tier. I was going to give it E. However, this guard dog does one thing really well. When you see a yellow laser flying over your character because it's engaging a target, that's really helpful if you're getting swarmed to know where you're getting hit from next if you can't check the map. So, I mean, I can see some viability in C if you want to use it as some kind of really bizarre early warning system. Now, the regular guard dog. This is a solid B tier choice. Medium armor pen. It destroys chaff because it's medium armor pen. It has fairly decent ammo economy. I would give it A, but there's a better guard dog that I think belongs in A. And that would be the gas one. The guard dog dog breath is incredibly efficient. Gas will keep you safe on the bug front because if it has nothing to engage and there's a charger coming, this will go to the charger, spray it just to the point where the charger won't be able to directly charge you anymore because he's under the effects of the gas. So he'll break off, allowing you to keep sprinting instead of having to, play loop-to-loop with him. The shield generator. If you suck with kiting, this is probably really good. I don't see this viable. But we're going to put it in D for minor use. Directional shield. This is E. The ballistic shield. I don't know. I don't want to sound rude, but I think if you're running a shield or anything like that on the bug front, you're kind of being a detriment to the team. Okay? Because you can bring a guard dog to help. I don't like the shield on the bug front. I think it's unhelpful. The call-in does not justify the back. There's better backpacks. That's what I'm saying. There's better backpacks. The supply pack, S tier. We're going to put that up here. The supply pack is amazing. If you need ammo, you got it. You need more stims, you got them. Most people I've played with in my time recently don't really bring that unless they're bringing the heavy machine gun or something. And a lot of the players that just use it for the heavy machine gun, they're a little busy using the heavy machine gun, so they probably won't have time to give you supplies. But if you have one that actually can communicate, and they can hit their shots, and they're willing to give ammo to the whole team, or they're just running it in general, not even the heavy machine gun, just running this in general, being a good teammate, you are a huge asset to the team, and you're valuable. I would really recommend the supply pack to anybody that struggles with ammo. And it's also very, very, very underrated for grenadier builds. The portable hell bomb. This can either be amazing, or it can be useless. I bring it sometimes. I think it struggles in the mega nest because there's so many twists and curves. So the biggest thing I can see bringing this for is the regular bug heavy nests. But you can just bring a 120 or something. I think this is a solid C tier. Jump pack is A tier. Easy. The mobility that offers is unmatched. It's a backpack, so you don't have to divert a car for it or anything. And you can pull off some pretty crazy things with the jump pack. I think it's amazing. I don't want to say everybody run it because I don't want to influence choices. So, we meet again, my friend. The mines. I feel like if you ask the average Helldiver player, they've probably never even touched mines. They are not that bad. Okay? On defense missions, obviously, they're better. We'll get to that. I think the regular mines on the bug front are a D tier. I think the incendiary mines are slightly better D tier. I would actually put them at the top of D tier. the gas mines. The fabled gas mines. I think these are amazing on the bug front, okay? If you throw these on a bug breach, there is enough gas in those mines, you will kill the bug breach. I think the gas mines are honestly an A tier. The anti-tank mines, uh, if you're bringing mines to fight the Bile Titans, you've I don't know. I don't know if you guys are running the Constitution meme or what, but there's a situation there. I think these are E tier. Okay. I know I'm probably gonna get flack for that because they do kill Bile Titans and Chargers very well. But why not just bring something a little more useful in the mines? HMG emplacement. Underrated. You throw this on a hill where the bugs can't touch it for a bit, you're gonna wipe out some bugs. The anti-tank emplacement. It's a goated call-in. I love it. But on this front, with Impalers and Chargers and Bile Titans walking around and closing distance fast, or even just little hunters, I'm gonna have to give it E tier, but I'm gonna give it top of E tier, besides the rail cannon, because I think the rail cannon's a little more helpful. Machine gun sentry is S tier. Gatling is S tier. Flame sentry is now it's only an A tier because here's my reasoning. The machine gun's S because of the call-in speed. Okay, the Gatling can eradicate chaff. The flame sentry is short range. If you have a lot of players running around, sometimes the bugs will just break their aggro on the turret and go to the player, where the machine gun and the Gatling would follow the bug that's running the flame. Will just have to adjust to a new target. I do love the flame sentry. I just can't put it in S tier. Mortar, E. EMS mortar, E. Mortars are a detriment to your team. 9 out of 10 times. Okay? And that's not coming from a position of hate. I like the mortar. I really do. However, on the bug front, I mean, if it, let's say it's engaging a hunter swarm, okay? And they're bouncing and bobbing all around and they're closing distance with you. There's nothing stopping that mortar from aiming at you next to kill the hunters. And the EMS one's just going to slow you down. So, I can't do it. Autocannon, I think, is a B tier. But a very good B tier. The only reason I don't have it higher is because it does not have the range of our next one. The rocket sentry has the best range of any sentry at 100 meters, I believe. It's a dedicated anti-tank, and it will go right to bigger enemies. The autocan I've seen shoot hunters a lot first. Tesla Tower. Tesla Tower, Tesla Tower, Tesla Tower. This is going to be controversial. I think this is S. As long as you communicate clearly to your team that I'm throwing a Tesla, it has an amazing ability to aggro enemies to it. It can stun lock a charger because it counts as an arc blast. So as long as, you know, there's not too many different bugs it's attacking. The Tesla, I think, is a legendary weapon. I think it's hated by the community because of TKs, and I honestly think most of that falls on the person getting TK'd, because you can just go prone and hug yourself next to the Tesla Tower. I mean, there's a lot of ways to survive the Tesla Tower. That's what I'm getting at. It's hated by the community for no reason. I think it's a great stratagem. Shield generator against the bugs, E tier. I'm going to put it above the mortars only because after my time on Fori and the Gloom, the bile spews were inhuman. Like, there were times I actually needed a second to collect my thoughts because it was just constant. The Stalwart. I love the Stalwart against the bugs. As long as you bring, like, the crossbow or the eruptor or something, and this is your chaff killer, you will not be disappointed. This is a great weapon. I'm going to put it above the orbital precision because remember, I'm ranking this based on utility and combat value. Okay? And the Stalwart has both. Reload on the run. It's light armor pen, but it shoots super fast. It's a great weapon. The MG43. This is my favorite machine gun of the machine gun trio. Now, on the bug front, I mean, if I pick it up, I'll run around it for a little bit, but I don't usually bring it. I think this is a genuine C tier. I'm going to put it above the Eagle Cluster. Heavy machine gun, I think most people would agree with this. This is definitely a contender for S, but I'm going to put it in A. It needs just one more buff, and I think we'll have it in S tier. The AMR. This is a weird one. I don't really see you having the chance to be sniping on the bug front, okay? But it does hit pretty hard. I guess you could be like, back in like NW2, and like, people would run around with, like the Barrett 50, and they just like no scope you and just fire super fast. Like I can see that happening. I'm gonna give it a put it just below the walkers in D. The arc thrower. On a 10, this might struggle just a little bit because there's so many big enemies, but you can stun lock anything below the impaler, and that's an incredible ability to have, to be able to stun lock something. This is a pure team play weapon as the difficulties increase. I think this is contending for A, but I think we're gonna put it in B tier. The railgun, despite them buffing it again, is not the old railgun. D tier. We'll put it just above the AMR though. It can still do some amazing things when it's almost about to explode in your face and you have a max overcharge. But with all the enemies that swarm on you, it's not so easy to get those charge-up shots off. Grenade launcher, unless you're like the team hole clearer, I can't make an argument for it. D tier, very close to being an E. The autocannon, the jack of all trades, the master of none. And there's only one fine place that can go, and that's in C tier, top of C tier. Now the flamethrower. I love the flamethrower. I do think it struggles past difficulty 8, because past 8 you were just getting hit with so many bigger enemies. Now granted, this can kill Biles, and it can kill Impalers, but unless you have like a guard dog or a friend protecting you, you're going to be swarmed constantly. Hunters are going to be diving on you while you're there on fire. I think this is a C tier. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll bump it up to B. Only because if you can get the jump on a bug breach and start burning it, you do a lot of damage. The sterilizer. Okay, so if you're using the sterilizer, you already have chemical agents. Just use the dog breath. The sterilizer, I don't think is worth it. Honestly, I think the sterilizer sucks. Buff or no buff, I don't think it's that good. I would prefer gas over the railgun though, so we'll put it there. Whoops. Laser cannon, slept on. I don't think it's that bad at all. However, again, see the problem is I love so many of these call-ins, but we're ranking this off 10s. So the laser cannon requires precision and a little time for some enemies, and you don't always have the luxury of time on the bug front because there's just so many enemies. So we're going to give this a C tier. I'm going to put it just above the cluster. This is E tier. This is a team killing machine. If you are that scared of Shriekers, or you hate your team that much, bring this, I guess. But the autocannon is flat ground, so there's no need to bring it. The Eats. These are A tier. These are amazing. A quick call in. You get 2 shots, so if you're fighting 4 charges, you just took out 2 of them. You just got a kite for 70 seconds. The Commando. I think this belongs in low B tier. I don't think it does anything better than the Eats, besides the laser guidance, but I cannot justify laser guidance bumping it up a whole tier. They're recoilless. I love the recoilless on one front, but it is not this front. I think there are explosive weapons that do what the recoilless can do so much better on the bug front. If you want to play the anti-tank role, just bring the eats or bring something else we're about to talk about. I think the recoilless is, I will give it B tier. Very high B tier though. The Quasar. This is what I personally bring on almost every bug dive if I don't bring the flamethrower or something. I think the Quasar and Eats, that's probably an argument that you'd see those two as interchangeable. I think the Quasar is better just because once you call it in, you have it. There's no drop on it, so if you want to snipe a Shrieker nest across the map, you don't have to sit there and adjust aim or anything if you keep calling in Eats. Quasar is legendary. The Wasp. This is a weird one. I've had moments of greatness with the Wasp, and I've had moments where I felt like I was just taking, I was taking the piss, as the British people would say. Sorry, British quote-unquote people. I think this is another D tier. Where in here, I feel like that's probably depends on how much luck if I'm having a good day, I'd put it here. And then last but not least, we have the Spear. There was a weird point where everyone was saying the Spear was this great weapon because people started using it. And I was always saying Spear money gang. I think the Spear is great up till 7. After that, you're getting swarmed too much to perform the reload. You don't have the ammo to deal with the bigger enemies. The only thing that it's really good at on higher difficulties is like sniping the occasional Bile Titan or a Spore charger that's far off. We'll give it low C. I can see some sort of viability. And there we go. There is our bug front. Everything that isn't the guns, or at least everything that isn't the standard Helldiver armory. I don't even know what to call this. The stratagems. This is the stratagems for the bug front.